Hello, my name is Jennifer Kanaitis, and I'm a board-certified Assistant Behavior Analyst with the Crack River Street Outreach Program. Today, I'd like to talk with you about teachable moments, those everyday activities that you can turn into learning opportunities with your child. In the field of behavior analysis, teachable moments have a more technical definition. We define this learning interaction as incidental teaching. So what is incidental teaching? Well, it is a teaching strategy that uses everyday events that occur in the natural environment as opportunities for learning. In fact, you are probably already using incidental teaching in your daily interactions with your child. One of the greatest benefits of incidental teaching is that it incorporates your child's interests and preferences, which makes your child naturally motivated to participate in the learning. You can use incidental teaching for all types of skills, but in this presentation the focus will be on capturing teachable moments for building language and communication skills. When language and communication skills improve, so does a child's behavior. Your child will be less frustrated as he is able to communicate more effectively. There are many advantages to using incidental teaching. First, any time within the day can be a learning opportunity. You don't need special materials, and you can use what is readily available within your home and the natural setting. Your child is the one to initiate the interaction, so he is more likely to be motivated to learn. Incidental teaching transfers more readily to daily life since you are teaching within activities that naturally occur every day. The learning opportunities you create will encourage spontaneous communication from your child. And finally, it's a positive and rewarding form of teaching. Now let's take a look at the steps for incidental teaching. There are 4 steps to follow for incidental teaching: watch, wait, encourage, and reinforce. So what does that really mean? Let's take a closer look. Step 1 is to watch your child. Look at what he enjoys. What are his favorite activities, toys, or foods? It may help to make a list, since you can probably think of many. Once you've identified some of your child's most enjoyable items, we will look at how you can arrange these items within your home so that it sets up an opportunity for incidental teaching. Step 2 is to wait for your child to initiate. The idea is to follow your child's lead, using his natural motivation. Sometimes you may need to provide a little temptation to get your child to initiate. You might entice your child by talking to him about the item or the activity he enjoys, or by showing him the item without actually giving it to him. Step 3 is to encourage your child to use his language to communicate. You can do this by modeling the language he should use. The expectations will vary based on how your child is currently using words to comment and ask for things. For example, if your child only speaks a few words, you'll only want to model a single word for the item or activity. If your child talks in phrases or sentences, you can model a more elaborate sentence to help him expand his language. At step 3, you might need to provide your child with some assistance. We call this assistance a prompt. You can prompt your child to communicate by using a gesture, providing a verbal model of what to say, or if your child is nonverbal, cueing your child to use an alternative form of communication such as picture exchange, a voice output device, or sign language. Finally, step 4 is to reinforce by celebrating any effort your child makes to communicate. If your child made a request, give him the item or activity he asked for. If your child asked for help, provide assistance. Or if he asked for more, continue the activity he was enjoying. Be enthusiastic, present in the interaction, and encouraging with your praise. You can use incidental teaching within just about any daily activity with your child. This could include reading a book, playing a game together, while eating a meal, when you're playing outside, or even during everyday routines such as brushing your teeth or getting dressed. Let's look at some specific examples for how to set up these learning opportunities. One of the first ways that we can use incidental teaching is to promote requests. You can promote requests and more spontaneous language with your children by using toys that have multiple parts. Instead of having all of the pieces readily available that they need, you would set out just a few. For example, if your child loves to play with trains, you might place a few of the tracks on the floor, but hold the rest of the tracks and trains in a bin. After he assembles the first few pieces, you might show him the next piece he needs and wait for him to initiate asking for it. You can tempt him, saying, "I have a curved track," or "Look, I have Thomas." And as soon as he requests, whether by pointing to the item, asking for it verbally, or through exchanging a picture, you would give him the item. Another way to create opportunities for requesting is by putting things your child wants inside of containers that he can't open by himself or on shelves that are out of reach. This creates a need for your child to ask for help. The important thing to remember when you're doing this is that often our children won't ask for something if they can't see it. So while you don't want the item to be readily accessible, you want the child to know it is there. Clear containers with a tight lid work great, or putting things up on high shelving where they can see it but they can't reach it is another great strategy. You can also encourage your child to make requests by using items that are consumable. This would include their favorite snack or drink. You can give your child just a small amount of something he enjoys so that he will be motivated to ask for more. Blowing bubbles is another great activity for requesting, since the bubbles pop, creating a natural opportunity to ask for more. Does your child like to swing, bounce on a big ball, or go for a ride in the wagon? These are all great activities for requesting. Just stop the activity and wait, giving your child an opportunity to request more of the action. This also works well with electronics, since you can pause a video or CD, and then allow your child to ask you to play it again. Another way to get your child to make requests is to give him only part of the materials he needs to do something he enjoys. For example, if he likes to paint, you might give him the paint, but not the paintbrush or the paper. Or, if he's doing a puzzle, you might withhold a few of the pieces he needs to finish it. You can also do this during a meal. You can give him the food he likes, but not the utensil he needs to eat it with. Or you can give a juice box without a straw. These are all ways to get your child to make some requests. During everyday routines, like brushing teeth, you might put out a toothbrush, but not the toothpaste. When getting dressed, you might give him only one sock so that he has to ask for the other one. You can also create opportunities to request by using toys that your child can't manipulate on his own. This would include something like a wind-up toy, where your child doesn't have the fine motor skills to turn it by himself. We can use incidental teaching to increase language in other ways beyond making requests. For example, we can teach children to label things they see, actions they're doing, or comment about what's happening around them. When you're reading a book with your child, you might pause after you read the page and point to the picture to have him label what he sees. Or, while playing together with a favorite toy, you might point to parts of the toy and have him label the parts, like the wheels on a car or the body parts on a baby doll. You can also focus on action words, asking your child to label what he's doing. You can play I Spy, looking out the window and describing things you see in the world around you, having your child label what it is you're describing. Another way to increase your child's language is to pause and let your child fill in the blank. You can do this when singing a familiar song. Start the song and then leave off a word or a phrase and let your child fill it in. You can also do this with a familiar book that has a repetitive phrase that carries throughout. Brown bear, what do you? And pause to let your child fill in the word see. You can use phrases that have natural fill-ins. We all know what comes next when we say ready, set, and your child can fill in go. There are lots of phrases like this where you know that your child will fill in the blank. And finally, help your child use adjectives when making requests or comments. Have your child be specific. Use descriptive words such as the color, shape, or size. For example, if your child asks to use markers, you can have him request each color he wants. Or if you're pulling him in the wagon, you might have him ask to pull fast or slow. If you're blowing bubbles, ask if he wants a big one or a small one. Let's take a short look at a video example of how this is done.
Nice job closing it. What color do you want? We have red, green, orange, or purple.
Orange.
Orange? Here you go. Good job. Whoa, you dropped it. That's okay. One. Here you go, Amanda. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to close it? Close it. Okay. What color? Red, green, blue, purple, or orange?
Blue.
Blue. Good job. Are you going to open it? Nice. One. What are you doing? Closing. Good job. Thank you. What color do you want next?
Yellow.
Red, green, blue, purple, or orange?
Purple.
Purple. Nice job.
The last thing I want to say is keep it positive. Recognize if your child is becoming frustrated, and if they are, give them some assistance. We need to find the balance between frustration and the child's need to communicate. Finally, make it fun and try to find those teachable moments every day.